who missed our live classes this week, I just put this, I'm gonna put this video up on our assignment page, so you can feel free to work on this throughout the week if you choose to. Today we are going to make hand puppet drawings. So in the end, our pictures can look something like this. And we are gonna make these animal shapes using our hands to trace from. So how I'm gonna do that is, if we start with the bunny rabbit, I'm gonna show you how to make two different kinds of animals. So if I start with the bunny rabbit, which is this guy here, I'm gonna first hold my hand up in this shape. So I'm gonna make a fist. And then what I need to do is I need to raise one finger, this finger here, and then the other finger like that. So I'm making what we usually call this a peace sign. So once I have my peace sign, then I'm gonna need a marker. You can use a pencil too, but it's kind of nice to use something that shows up really dark. So I put my peace sign against my page. You can go the other way too. You go this way, but I'm going to show this way for now. So I'm going to go over this again. Make a fist, pull up one finger, and then another finger. Put it up against my paper, and then I'm going to trace. Remember, we've done our tracing before. We hold our marker right up against the side of our hand, and we pull it around the shape. Right to the base like that. Then I take my hand away, and I'm gonna have this shape there. Now what I wanna do is I wanna close off the bottom so he has a little bit of a chin. And then if we look at this, we're missing some parts. Our bunny rabbit needs a couple of eyes so it can see. It needs a nose so it can breathe. And it needs a mouth so it can eat, right? So let's start with the eyes. So when I'm gonna draw my bunny rabbit's eyes, and we learned a little bit about making circles before, so we're gonna start by making a circle. Actually, I'm gonna make an oval. An oval's like a circle, but it's a little bit longer, but you also can make a circle. You can make a circle or an oval, but I'm making two ovals. So there I have two eyeballs. Now, the next thing I want to do, right, is I want to make a nose for my animal. So for my nose is actually an upside down triangle. So I'm going to do a line, and then a line down like that, and then a line that comes down the bottom. Now my bunny rabbit can breathe, and that's a good thing. So now I want to make a mouth, and this part is a little bit tricky. So I start right at the point of the bottom of this triangle, and I draw a line that goes out like that. And then I start again in the same spot and do one that goes out like that. And now my bunny rabbit is smiling, so that's really good. If you notice, this part's a little bit tricky, but if you notice, my eyeball has this dark circle in the center of it, and it also has this little white spot. Can you guys see? White spot and the dark part. So I can actually add all of that in for my bunny rabbit to give it a little bit more character. So if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna draw a line across the middle of my ovals, just like that, and then a little circle for that white dot. Remember our white dot, and fill all this in with a darker color. There we go. I could also add the insides of the ears by just drawing this part here. By just drawing a line that goes up and around. A line that goes up and around. And then my bunny rabbit's kind of floating in space. So if I want him to have a body, I'll draw a line that goes down and one like that. And there we go. I have drawn my bunny rabbit. So we're gonna do one more, okay? So this hand puppet is a swan, which is a kind of bird that is white and really beautiful, and you usually see them out in the water. So how we're gonna do this hand puppet is we're gonna, again, make a fist. So I'm gonna make a fist like this, but then I'm gonna kind of turn it to the side. So remember our bunny rabbit was like this? So our swan is like this. So it's a sideways fist. And then I tilt my hand down like that. So we'll start like this, make a fist, turn to the side, and then tilt my hand down. Then I'm gonna put this up against the page, just like so, and trace it around just how we did the bunny rabbit. There we go. So now if I go back to this page, I'm missing a couple parts of my swan. I'm missing my eyeball. I need a little line to show his beak. And then of course I need a mouth because I want my swan to be able to talk. So let's start with our eyeball. I put a little eyeball up here. And then my mouth was a line that goes across like that. And a little mouth like that. So now my swan can kind of talk a little bit. Again, if we go back to the eyeball, eyeballs have this dark spot in the middle. So I can draw a line and color that part in. Because swans are really pretty, I'm gonna put some eyelashes on my swan, which you guys can do too. I'm gonna fix any kind of squiggly lines like that. So there we go. Now we've drawn both a bunny rabbit and a swan. So here's what we're gonna do next. If you guys wanna finish a really beautiful finished piece for next week, then you can take one of the two drawings that you like better. So I think I like my bunny rabbit better. And what I wanna do is I wanna draw background on my piece and then color it in. So it's like a beautiful finished product, okay? So something like this, where we have the grass and the sky. I can show you how to draw some flowers. These are clouds, and then color the whole thing in with whatever you have. Markers, pencils, crayons, anything you have. Crayons would be great too. So here's what I'm gonna do. And there's one part that's really tricky about this, okay? And that's this line right here. And this is the background line. We have a fancy big name for it. It's called the horizon line. But the line itself is really, it's a little tricky to draw. So I'm gonna show you how to draw it. We want that line, that horizon line, to go behind the bunny rabbit. So what I wanna do is I wanna start my line, or my drawing, right on the edge of my bunny, and then I pull that line out towards the side. Just like that. And then the other side, it doesn't have to match up perfectly, but we want it to look sort of like it continues on, but we do not want to draw across our bunny rabbit, right? Not along here. So we start right over here, and then we draw a line like that. And now my bunny rabbit's in like a landscape. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw some flowers that go up. Flowers are kind of tricky. I do a line and then I draw these circles kind of that go around, or not circles, this like loopy line that goes around and then a circle in the middle. Those are a little tricky. If you're having trouble with those, you can draw a line and then just a circle. And those can be really beautiful flowers too. If I want to add clouds to my drawing, clouds are kind of like these squiggly lines like that. Okay, so once you have all your parts of your background drawn that you want to add in, then you're gonna color your picture, okay? And I'm gonna use pencil crayons, but you can use anything that you want. And I'm coloring in the background. I like to, when I'm coloring, I like to go in one direction like this, and then switch and go in another, and go in another. That way, I end up getting these nice coloring lines all throughout my picture. Okay, so if you guys want to finish one of these animals, and you can also finish your swan and do a background with your swan or your bunny rabbit, and then you can email me or show me your beautiful animal drawing next week in art class. That would be awesome. So bye for now, boys and girls. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.